All right, everybody, welcome back to another video. How y'all doing out there? Once more, I can't complain personally, but if you do got something you can complain about, hey, drop it down in the comments. I appreciate whatever feedback I can get, but unfortunately, I have to voice over this video because my audio didn't record when I was recording this video. So I'm gonna do my best to remember what I said, and probably not, but here we go. What I was talking about in this video is the addition of directed mode to Call of Duty Zombies, which I think is actually pretty fun. I think it was a solid choice to add in the directed mode to the Zombies campaign for more casual players and even people who've been playing for a while. I think at this point in the video, though, if I remember correctly, I was talking about the gobblegums and the fact that what I was saying before in my last video is that I was kind of hoping that they would add in kind of what they did with Black Ops 3, where, you know, after you played a certain amount of rounds, once you exited the game, not the game itself, but the round, you got essence, and once you got a certain amount of essence, you can go into the gobblegum shop and you could pretty much roll for gobblegums. Now, it was random about which gobblegums you would get, but you could definitely choose if you had one essence, I think, or two or three essence. If you put in 3 essence into the machine, you could get more legendary gobblegums. There was a higher chance of you getting more legendary gobblegums. Well, if you use the 1 essence, then you would get more of the basic gobblegums. I thought that, to me, added a bit more choice into the game, you know, kind of another level to the whole zombies. Whereas in this one, they pretty much just decided to make it so you just go into the shop and you pay money, pretty much, or COD points, to get different gobblegums. I mean, I get it. It would have been nice if they had a option, if they put it in an option that you didn't have to spend the COD points, like just playing the game. And it is there. Like, let me you know, go back. It is there. Like, if you play rounds, after a certain round, you do get gobblegums. The only problem is it's completely random. Like, you just get a random roll after a certain amount of rounds, and it'll tell you what gobblegums you get. That, to me, makes it kind of takes you out of the whole gobblegum thing. I think with this, you can kind of go into the shop, you can kind of look at to see what gobblegums are in the packs, I think, and then you can kind of, you know, pick and choose which gobblegums you want. The legendary, the whimsicals, or the regulars, which is cool. I think it's going to make people remember to use the gobblegums more. But the fact that you have to spend money to kind of get better packs, like the masters, like you see here, or the normal ones, I do think more casual people aren't gonna spend money to get better gobblegums. So I do feel like we're probably going to be in the same situation we were before they added this, to where people are like, oh, I'm not spending money on that, and then they just don't use the gobblegums. More hardcore players, slightly above casual players, might, I think I dropped a little bit on the $500 pack once, I think, because I had a bunch of COD points that I just never used from the last Call of Duty game, I think, or I got some for free. You know what, not from the last Call of Duty game, because this is a completely different account. So I think I just got free, they gave me free COD points or something when I made the account. But yeah, I did have some COD points. I used like 500 of them, 2 to 500, to just get a random pack just to see what I got. And I got some pretty good ones in that one. I think I got like 2 legendaries or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but it does add a little bit to the game, a bit more interaction with the gobblegum system that wasn't there before, with the just complete randomness that was the gobblegums. But now, like I said, it is better. But the directed mode, I feel like, is what the bread and butter is. It just, like I said, regardless if you're a casual player or a hardcore player, it does just add another level to the game that I think is pretty cool. On top of the camos and the leveling your guns, and now the gobble gums, which you can, you know, buy the packs, of course, which I think is a little kind of, you know, whack, but you can get them for free if you want. They should have just added the essence back into the game for the gobble gum machine like they did in Black Ops 3, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. But the directed mode, I think, is just so much fun. I mean, the Terminus one, oh my god, it's the Terminus, even directed, undirected, I don't know how, whoever figured out how to do all that stuff, God bless you. But the directed mode is still a beast. Like, if you don't have all your ducks in a row,
population less than yesterday.
It's pretty much a wrap for you. You're not gonna complete it. There's no way.
Hell,
unless you got some pretty solid people
I need you to look for survivors. Subdue any threats.
carrying you. It's just not gonna happen. So as you can hear, the game sound is just too much. So I think coming up, I decided that I didn't want to deal with it, and I turned the volume down.
The target walks like that for years.
Right about here. Yep. Went down to the audio. Turned the map. I can't find. Went past it for some odd reason. I don't know why. It's back. Go back. Yep. Go back up. There it is. Turn that down. Thank you, sir, because the volume, this just blows your eardrums away, especially with the shooting. Good job. Yeah. So basically here, what I was saying was that I think the director mode is a great addition, and it's actually really great for hardcore players and not the really casual players, which you might think this mode is a godsend for the casual players, which it is, because I feel like it now gives you, I mean, Call of Duty's has had story modes before, but their story modes were almost always tied behind an Easter egg. They were given to you in the form of Easter eggs, so you could go into a map and just not know what you were doing and never interact with the Easter egg in any capacity, and never know the story behind whatever zombies you were doing. And I do feel like that kind of gatekeeped a bit, and it was only really for the, you know, the super hardcore players. And I mean, for a few that might feel amazing, right? Like, I'm doing something in the game that not a lot of people can do, and this mode isn't for everyone. It's, you know, whatever, and that's fine. But I do think that has a shelf life. You do need to bring in more and more, you know, people into a game mode. So I feel like this is what that did to keep the game mode alive. But it's not bad to me. Like I said, you get in here and you can go through a story, and for the first time you feel like you're accomplishing something in the round. You know, I think the last Easter egg I tried to do in a zombies game was probably the Rising Drac, I think it was called, and that was incredibly hard. I mean, not hard, but like, it was hard. I take that back. It was hard because of the things you had to do were just like complicated, dude. You know, getting those weapons and trying to, yeah, the bows and the different bows and all this other stuff. It was just like, what in the name of God? But Terminus to me is close to that, except it's not like just convoluted things you have to do. Like, the things you're doing make sense, but it's just kind of like difficult because, you know, the zombies are coming after you. There's all this stuff you got to do, and but in the directed mode it's fun. In the undirected mode it's a bit tedious, but in the directed mode it's fun, but it's still hard to me. I think if you're more of a hardcore zombies player, I think Terminus is where you're gonna have that, the closest you'll have to that experience. But, you know, even a lot of hardcore zombies players, you know, they've said Liberty Falls is their bread and butter. Like, even though, you know, they want to go for that more challenging, they find themselves playing Liberty Falls more. Because Terminus, man, that last boss fight is just incredibly hard. I mean, it's, you know, it's, for me anyway, as a casual player, it was really hard. I mean, the way that they have the round caps, back to my point where I think this mode is for seasoned vets as well as casuals, because usually the seasoned vets for the most part are leveling guns and getting camos. They're more invested into the stuff like that, and this mode is perfect for that. I mean, you don't have to progress into the round if you don't want to. I mean, a lot of you guys who watch these videos, I'm pretty sure you know who FaZe Jev is, and he had a perfect explanation on how to just get all your camos with doing this mode. And I don't think that hurts the way they did this. I don't think they'll change it, because I feel like that doesn't really hurt the community, because a lot of casual players still aren't, they don't know that the cap is there. They just progress through the story and do their thing and complete the story mode and have fun and kill zombies and all that. I don't think they would, I don't want to say cheese, because it's not really cheesing, because you don't, because it's in the game. Usually something when I consider cheesing is you're kind of manipulating the system, and I don't think that's manipulation at all. I think the cap is actually there for people to just be able to get ahead of the rounds a bit, and so they can have a bit easier time. But I do feel like the devs put that in there too for the hardcore fans, because they know, like, getting a bunch of headshots is easy. I mean, leveling the guns, there's a lot of gun levels, so it is a bit tedious, but I feel like this was something they added in maybe to be like, here, you know, we hear y'all, it's a beast, but, you know, here you go. There's something you can do to kind of just, you know, casually just have fun and level and don't have to worry about, you know, skill-based matchmaking or the pressures of whatever. And I think that's pretty dope. Again, like I said, you don't have to progress. You can just chill at a certain level a couple of times to get your money right, you know, get some perks, get some pack-a-punches, and you could be kitted up. You could have all the perks, all the pack-a-punch, 3 levels of the pack, the rarities. You could have some solid gobble gums going, some kill streaks. You could have some wonder weapons if you want it. You can do all that before level 15 and be kitted, and by the time you get to the end, you'll be a beast, and it'll be easier for you if that's what you wanted to do. You don't have to play it that way. This map is pretty chill anyway. Like, doing the Easter egg isn't hard. The end fight, it can be a bit rough, but you just got to use a little bit of your brain and you can get past it. I could say I can do this map solo. You can do the Easter egg on this map by yourself, no problem. I mean, me, a player at my level, and my understanding of the game, I cannot solo Terminus. It's just not within my skill set. If there's people out there who can do it, man, more power to you. God bless you. You're a beast, but I just don't see how. I haven't watched any videos on it. I'm pretty sure it might be somebody out there. I mean, if there's a will, there's a way, as they say. But I just can't see it. It's just too much. I mean, playing it a couple of times. I think the 4 times I played it, maybe I can't remember how many times, but the Terminus I managed to beat one time, and I think people underestimate it when they play even the directed version, because when you get to that last boss, if you're not, you have to be kitted up. Like, if you're not kitted up, you have to play like hard. You really have to use your brain, and you have to be in the right place at the right time and shoot the right stuff. Because in move, you have to move, because if you're not kitted, you're going to be taking some crazy damage, and zombies are going to be all over you. And if you don't have the perks and the guns to do the damage, it's super hard. Because the last one I did, I actually passed it, but the one before that, I was in a group with some randoms, and I think they didn't know what they were in for, and I think I ended up having to revive them like 40 times. I'm not exaggerating. At the end of the round, I kind of laughed to myself, because it was like I had 40 revives, because at the end fight, they were going down like every 3 minutes. They constantly were just dropping, drop, pick them up, drop, pick them up, drop. And the reason why they were doing that was happening, one, they weren't moving around enough, but two, when obviously once you go down, you lose all your stuff. I mean, you lose all your perks. So at that point, it's a wrap. Like, it's really a wrap for you. You're gonna have to play a lot more smarter at that point. When you got your perks popping, and you got 3 packs popping, and you got some gobble gums, and you got some some kill streaks to call in. Once you got all that, you can kind of relax a little bit more. You can kind of make slightly bit more mistakes, because you have your you got your perks to fall back on. But when your perks are gone and you don't have really anything to fall back on other than just your pack-a-punch guns and stuff like that, the game becomes that much harder. You can't just take all the hits you were taking before. You don't move as fast as you were moving before. You don't shoot as fast as you shoot before. You don't reload as fast as you were reloading before. The game just becomes that much harder. And in Terminus, is that hard. Like, you'll be going down constantly. But it's still fun with the directed mode. It's still fun, even though it's a bit harder. But so as you can see here, I'm progressing through the story a little bit, just to show like the caps will change once you progress through the story, so you don't have to sit on the same level if you don't want to. But I'm already cooking. On pack 1, got rarity 1, and it's just level 7. At this point, you have to find the key from the groundskeeper, and he pops up randomly, but it's on the map. It tells you exactly where it is. He shows up. A few times I played this, I found the key on the ground. I don't know why. I'm guessing maybe a kaboom went off and he was up here chilling and just got rocked and dropped the key. But yeah, it's like multiple things you can do now, and it is pretty fun. I do like the zombies this time around. Outbreak, I would say, when Outbreak first dropped in Cold War, and Cold War zombies, to me, is still, from a casual player's perspective, I know the hardcore people didn't like Cold War zombies as much either, because they felt like it was too easy. But Cold War Zombies was super fun. Like, the only problem I had with Cold War Zombies is that it was very buggy. Cold War Zombies was extremely buggy. Like, Outbreak was super fun when that came out. I do think they kind of like overhyped the open world aspect of Outbreak. That's the one thing I didn't like about it. It wasn't true open world. It was pretty much a bunch of like bigger maps that you would, after you were done with one map, you would just like teleport, air quotes, to the next map. And to me, that's not open world. That's just you warping to multiple big maps. But even that I could overlook. But the problem I had with Outbreak, the same problem I had with regular zombies, was it was just extremely buggy. Like Outbreak, it got to a point where it would just crash. for me. Like after a certain point, a certain round, or the audio was really bad. Like the audio would just go out randomly. And same thing with the Cold Wars, the regular zombies. Like it would be buggy, hitchy. It was just buggy, and it was fun though. Like I love the field upgrades and the just up. You know, it was. I think they wanted to keep that aspect for this, but they just dialed it back, which I wish they didn't do. I wish they would have kept, like, cause I do miss a bunch of the different field upgrades they had in Cold War and this one, like the Ring of Fire. Man, that was a beast. I just love that Ring of Fire, dude. You used to melt zombies with that. I don't know why they didn't bring that back. I'm guessing they might, and probably in like seasonal updates, they'll start bringing back all the stuff they had from the Cold War, which would be kind of whack, but I can see them doing that. But Cold War, you really felt like a killing machine. They did a really good job making you feel powerful in Cold War. This is me trying to go for like critical kills, trying to build up my camos. I really slacked behind on the camo grind, I'm not gonna lie, but I haven't been able to play as much zombies as I would like, to be honest with you. If I could play this every day, I would, because it is fun, but I just can't, because, you know, being an adult, you have responsibilities, which is fine, I'm not complaining, but yeah, I've gotten way behind. So I'm just building up like my getting some more credits, trying to pack a punch, second pack before I go to the next one. What you can do, I mean, if you want, you don't have to play like this. If you want to just progress through the story in a regular way, you can do that on the normal mode, not the directed. But with this, you can get your camos in, you can level your guns up in a more casual way, and you can progress through a story at the same time. I mean, it's your cake and eating it too. I mean, it really is. And I don't, you know, as this is a video game, I just don't see how that's a bad thing. I mean, options are always better. I mean, in my opinion, you know, options are just what makes a game, to me, great. I don't know people who don't like options. I mean, if it's there, you can take advantage of it. You can use it to, you know, and if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Double points.
I am rusty because I haven't played this in like 3 weeks, so I was missing a lot of the headshots. I'm just making excuses for myself. I think I'm about to open some doors at this point, because I'm almost at 15K. I don't think I pack at this point. I think I do before I go down to the water, the pressure hose. Before I do that, I think I pack.
Keep it locked up in here. Good find. That's got to be the handbrake for the Thrustodyne weapon.
I do get some perks. The perks are here. I will say, like I said in my last zombie videos, I do think they purposefully nerfed the perks so you can level them back up to a normal state to just give you something to do in the game. Because I will say the perks seem a bit weak before you start doing the augmentations, which is unfortunate. I mean, they do feel better once you do the augs, like Speed Cola, for instance. I just felt like it was, when I was reloading, it just seemed like slow. but once I fully kitted it out, and I chose to do the faster reloading with the upgrade, it feels good now. Like, you do reload pretty fast, but it should have been like that to begin with, and then once you start leveling them up, it should have just been crazy fast. Or they could have made it to where it was you don't have to reload. I know they have it, I think, on the Speed Cola, where they have an augment that your guns will replenish ammo by themselves over time. I don't know how good that is. I've been wanting to try it. I should try it to see how if that's good or not.
Metal breaks down eventually.
But like I was saying, man, with before, you know, the other audio, this is actually, you know, with the older Call of Duties, like the OG ones, you know, it wasn't hard to get to. I was talking about the vault at this point, how opening the vault is kind of easy once you know what you're doing. And it is a good way to get wonder weapons, opening the vaults. But the way they're not good is that people will open the vault and use the green keys, like you just saw on the ground, or the purple keys, because it's green, blue, purple. The rarity's the same as the guns: green, blue, purple, and orange, or whatever it is. For the legendary, they will use the non-legendary keys and just burn the vault down. Like, it's only a certain amount of uses you can do in the vault, and I don't even use the vault until I start picking up legendary keys, because it is an easy way to get wonder weapons. I think it's easier than the box, to be honest. That box, it's historically been hard to get wonder weapons. They haven't changed it. Unless you got the gobble gum, it's very hard to get it. But yeah, with the old school zombies, it was a bit easy, as far as there were no zombie types. There was just the zombies, right? And you know, as the rounds progressed, they got faster, they hit harder, it was more of them. So if you just use your brain to a certain degree, and a lot of the maps back then had, like, you know, some kind of safe areas to where you could camp out at and not really have to worry about it. You know, you can camp out there, you and another person, and y'all can pretty much hose the zombies down for a bunch of rounds. You know, as long as you packed, you know, you perked up, packed, and all that stuff. You can hold down a section of the map for a while. They got rid of that though with oh man, what was the last zombies? Not Cold War, but was it 2019? I think they had zombies. I can't remember. It was one of them. But they kind of got rid of that with that version of zombies. And in this one too, there's no real spots to kind of like hold up, you know what I mean, in the higher levels, because of the freaking manglers. Like, this is what makes this game harder to me in some ways than the original zombies, because when you got 20 manglers and abominations shooting you in all directions, I mean, two mangler shots at around like 28 or 30 or whatever, they do a lot of damage. I mean, if you got two of those guys hitting you, and then you got, you know, a bunch of zombies hitting you, you'll go down really quick. Like, it's super easy to go down in the later rounds, because there's like 20 manglers just shooting you at the same time, and their beams track you. I mean, there's like heat-seeking beams that bend corners and hit you, and they take away almost half your health with each shot. So if you got 5 or 6 or 7 of them, to me, it's a lot of ways harder than the OG zombies. even with all the stuff you have at your disposal, like the gobble gums and the packs and the perks and the augments and all that, I mean, it's still hard when you have, like I said, 20 manglers all shooting you at the same time, or the abominations. I think that's what they're called. So 3 perk that, or 2 perk.
Firepower is crucial, but it's all in how you use it.
The pressure valve is a bit annoying, but with the if you just move, you're good. But also, if you use the augmentation on the jug, any hit to the back, it just takes armor. It just depletes your armor. It won't deplete your health. You can do it fairly easy. The only downside to that augmentation is any damage that you receive to your front, it will just take health. It won't deplete the armor anyway, so any damage you take to the front is just full damage. But if you can manage to keep the zombies to your back, you can survive, like I do here. The only issue is when you have one plate, the plate breaks pretty fast. I will say when you're by yourself doing the solo, the gauge moves faster for sure. It goes a little slower when you have more people. You definitely want to get rid of that mangler first, because it's just annoying, like I said. Even at level 11. So as long as they're facing your back, you can just go ahead and soak up that damage. Go, that's pretty easy at this level. Like if I've done it a couple of times where we're late into the levels, like we're level 25 or level 30, and then people are like, hey, y'all want to do the Easter egg? And it's like, bruh, we're level 30. Like,
Do your worst.
I don't think that's a good idea, but we've tried it and it's harder. The water valve is just way harder.
Just so you know, I will not
The
be
pressure
slowing down.
valve.
See that? The face only a bullet could bluff.
But at that part, you have to get a mangler gun, shoot it off, and then open the store to get the jumper cables. So then it's one of the parts to get the wonder weapon, and then you can start doing more of the thing. But yeah, you can do it solo, man, if you're just trying to, you know, like I said, level up some guns, level up, get some camos, and then progress in the story while you do it, instead of just doing something random to level 50 or whatever. At least you have like something to pass the time on top of getting the camos and stuff. So I think it's a dope addition to like I said, to zombies, and I mean, everyone benefits from it. But with that being said, I thank you guys for tuning in. I thank you guys for listening to me rant in all these videos. I appreciate it. If you ever liked the video or subbed, man, I appreciate you. Thank you very much, and I hope you tune in to the next one. And with that being said, man, I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys enjoy gaming. Hope you guys enjoy zombies, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And I hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.